Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? Welcome into the space. I am back. I know it has been probably about a week and a half since I have been in this space with you all, but I am back. Life, sometime. Excuse me. All of this is perfect for what we're going to be talking about today because today I am going to be talking about why authenticity and leadership is no longer optional. It is absolutely something that we must do currently as leaders. So, welcome into the space. I appreciate you all for coming in. Just a little bit of housekeeping. If you are new to the space, my name is Angel Charmaine, and this is 11 a.m. Talks with Angel Charmaine. I come into this space to talk about authenticity, I talk about leadership, I talk about owning your voice. I talk about self-reflection and introspection. We do all of those things together in this space at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Typically, we are here for an hour. However, a major change that is going to happen is that we're going to be here for 30 minutes. So you've got to get on in here at 11 o'clock if you want to be able to engage, if you want to be able to ask questions, if you want to be able to talk with me. Gonna have to make sure that you're getting here at 11. I am going to make sure that I am getting here at 11 as well. So if you are just tuning in, hello. Let's get back to how we work in this space, just in case you are brand spanking new. I do not ask for much, but I do ask you all. I feel like my top is leaning. I don't ask for much, but what I do ask is that you will, if you find the space valuable, if you learn here, if you feel like you are given information that is actually actionable, it's practical, it's something that's useful and helping you in your life, all I ask is that you will invite others into the space. You can share a link, or you can tag a person or anything of that nature. You can share us into different groups and things of that nature that you feel this type of conversation would be helpful. That is what I ask. I also ask, second, that you will do what I call stimulating the chat. And stimulating the chat simply means that you talk to me and others in the comment section. Say good morning, hello, how you doing? Greet each other. If you have questions, put it there. All of that helps when it comes to social media and all the algorithms. You all already know how this works. Hello, Kiki Cherise. How you doing? It's been a minute since I have been in this space. So it's been a minute since I have been able to see you and greet you in the morning. I pray all is well. I see you doing great things in the world. So thank you for popping in and speaking this morning. Hello, Tamika Burnett. How are you doing? Good morning. Welcome into the space. It is always good to see you here as well, sis. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into what I'm going to be talking about today. I just did our little mini housekeeping for those of you who are just coming in. One, if you are going to watch, please make sure that you say hello in the chat. My grandmom used to say, if I ain't sleep with you last night, little girl, when you come into this room, you say good morning. I ain't sleep with none of y'all last night. So when you come into the space, please give us a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. We will accept that. Thank you so much. Make sure that you are kind to one another, talk to each other, chop it up with one another, connect, follow, do all the things, because this is a community. And then please make sure that you are clicking like, heart, love, all the things, so that you can help to bring more visibility to this content. Okay. All right. Thank you. It's good to be seen and it's good to be heard. All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on into what we are talking about today. So for those of you, again, who are just coming in, good morning to you all. If you are watching on the replay, hello. And thanks for catching the replay. Make sure you put a hashtag replay in the chat so that I know you got an opportunity to watch. Today, we're going to kick off this week. We're going to have a series this week. And this week's series, we're going to be talking about authenticity and leadership. That is going to be the theme for this week. And today, we're going to talk about why authentic leadership is not optional anymore. We're that, and it's just the truth. I think we all need to own that fact that authenticity in leadership is no longer optional. It is absolutely a must. And we have got to get to that place where we realize that this new generation and this new era, people want to know the truth. Folks are tired of being played with. Now in social media, we see this whole thing, stop playing in my face, right? They playing in my face. I don't play the radio. All of these things are being said because people are tired. People are tired of folks showing up being pretentious and faux and unrealistic and having these expectations that just aren't attainable for most people. And so if you're leading from a place of being pretentious or pompous, or you're trying to present yourself as this being, right, where you don't make any mistakes and you get it all right, let me tell you, this leaning top is worrying me. It's going to cause you to lose people. And if you're gaining people with that type of presence, you are probably talking to the wrong people. You're not going to draw in the people who actually need what it is that you have to offer, because you're going to be turning a lot of people off because you're just going to come off as fake and phony, and nobody wants that. So we're going to talk about it this week. Feel free to chop it up with me in the comments if you agree. So if you are agreeing with me right now, type agree in the comments. Let me know if you agree with the statement that authenticity and leadership is not optional anymore. It is a must when we are talking leadership. And I'm not just talking about an entrepreneurship. I'm talking about in a corporate space as well, whether you are leading as a supervisor or a manager, whether you are the visionary leader of a company and you're hiring contract employees, right? Leadership, period, whether you are the pastor of a church, or you are over a women's auxiliary or something of that nature, you are leading. If you're a school teacher or an administrator, authenticity and leadership is no longer optional. Tamika says, agree. And listen, if you all do not agree, you can absolutely say that. We can have that discussion here as well. All right. So let's go ahead and look at the first point that I want to make today. And remember, we're going to be here for a quick 30 minutes. So if you all need me to slow down just a little bit, all you have to do is say, slow down a little bit. So the first point that I want to make today, as we talk about why authenticity and leadership is a must, is that authenticity builds sustainable trust. Authenticity builds sustainable trust. And we need to understand that when we talk about sustainable, we're talking about lasting. If we say that something is sustained, that means that it's going to be able to be continued. It's not going to come in and stop. It's not going to, flounder and fall off, but it is sustainable. You can keep it up. Okay, you can continue to make sure that it happens. You can continue to support and fortify. So authenticity builds a trust that will be ongoing, a trust that you can actually keep up with the people that you are leading. Trust is not built by appearing fake. We must understand that. I don't know why people think that how do you think that you can get someone to trust you by being phony? It's oxymoronic. That doesn't even make sense. How are you expecting someone else to show up and be honest with you, to trust you, that you want people to show up and be so vulnerable with you that they will talk to you about their issues, their pain points, the things that they have going on in life, so that you can help them, whether you're coaching them or whether you're an author and you're trying to get your readers to trust that you are going to be able to connect with them in their writing. How can you build trust with people if you are fake? It doesn't work that way. You may start, it may seem like it's working at first, and that's only because the people don't know you yet. It's only because they don't know you yet. So when you are building, if you start out fake and phony, guess what? You have to maintain that faux presence, because that is what people believe about you. And it is not sustainable. It is not sustainable, because you will inevitably get to a place where you're like, okay, I got to be me. You're going to get to a place where you realize, like, this, I can't keep this up. So you starting out as an authentic leader, it helps you to actually sustain your leadership and allows you to build a sustainable trust between you and the people that you're leading. Trust is built when people can consistently rely on your honesty and transparency. Listen, when things are not ideal, when the company is getting ready to, go under, or your situation is not looking the best, you're just like, I don't know what's going to happen. When you are leading with authenticity, you are able to enter into the room with the people you lead and say, hey, y'all know I always come to you straight from the hip. And it's important for me to say that this is what is happening. But you all know, because you see my track record. This is where we stand, but I have a plan for us and I know how to get us out of here. Are you all going to stick by me? Listen, when you lead with authenticity, you have a much greater chance of the people you lead saying, we're going to rock with you. We are going to rock with you. Don't worry about it. Why? Because you have been honest with them. You have been transparent with them. And so even when you are not at the peak of success, even when things are not going really great, even when you're in not so ideal situations, the people will still stick with you. Why? Because you have been honest and transparent with them, with your leadership. Are y'all tracking? Put I'm tracking in the comments if you're still here with me and you are following. See, Tamika says yes, because it irks me. Yes, it is troublesome when people show up and they are not themselves. And people realize it. People can see it very early on, like that ain't right. Something is off about that, right? So here's what I want to give you. You already know I don't come into this space to do a bunch of motivational speaking and things like that, although you may be encouraged when you come into this space. But I like for you to take something away that you can actually do to help put some of these things in practice. So if you are leading in any type of capacity, I want you to evaluate at least one area. Just pick one. Just one area. I want you to pick an area, evaluate one area where you are presenting a perfect image. Notice the bunny ears. A perfect image instead of an honest one. And we all have a space. We all have a space. It may be a financial area. It may be a personal area. It may be a social media area. It may be a public speaking, at whatever area that you lead in. Just pick one place where you know that you have been presenting this perfect image. Like, ooh, 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 everything is so great. Everything is so wonderful. And I'm not talking about maintaining a positive outlook. I'm saying you all know the difference between maintaining a positive outlook and pretending that everything is perfect. I want you to sit down, evaluate at the space in which you lead, and I want you to look at an area where you have been presenting as perfect instead of honest. And I want you to begin to practice replacing performance with presence this week, because we're going to talk about this all week. I want you to begin to work on, right, presenting yourself more, showing up and being present versus performance. So when you're, if you're going to be working in your social media space, if you're all the time um uh posting about you're doing this and you're doing that, and oh, I did 100% here and I did 30 over there, and I met all the markers over here, and I made $1,000 here, and oh, this been, and that you're presenting a perfect image that the people don't realize isn't full on truth, but that is not the truth, because we all know that numbers can be skewed. If you know that you are showing up and you're showing the numbers that present a perfect outlook when you know that it's not, this week I want you to work on replacing you showing up with this perfect performance. I want you to replace it with your presence, just being in the space. Allow people to simply meet you. Show up as you. It is possible to show up as a leader. It's possible to show up as a manager. It's possible to show up as the principal of the school. It is possible to still show up in these ways and not all the time walking in talking about you ticked all the boxes and everything is so wonderful. You know why? Because the people you're leading are not ticking all the boxes. Just let me say this. They are not ticking all the boxes. They cannot figure out how to make the $1,000, and they're watching you and they see that you're doing it, and they're going, and in your comments you see congratulations, 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 congratulations. But what you're not seeing, if you actually sat still and you went to look at your community, you won't see them posting the same things. You won't see them under your comments saying, oh, I had a week like, they're just saying congratulations, congratulations. Why? Because you are presenting a perfect picture in a place where you're not perfect, but that's how you're showing up. And so today, this week, all I'm asking is that you really sit down with yourself, take stock of it, and be honest. Okay. So this week, you're going to practice replacing performance and all of the stats that say that you're perfect with simply your presence this week. I hope you'll give it a try. Okay. I hope you'll give it a try. Yes, that is so good, Tamika. Tamika says she's breaking away from acting like she has all the answers. Let me tell you, it is not sustainable, because the truth is that you don't have all the answers. You absolutely don't have all the answers. So we're going to move on to my second point, because I told you all 30 minutes and I'm going to have y'all out of here today. Okay. So the second point that I want to make today, for those of you who are just tuning in, we're talking about why authentic leadership is not optional anymore. It is a must. And the first point that we have talked about is authenticity builds sustainable trust. And so the next point that I want to make today is that people are burned out on curated leadership. They just are. Folks are tired of curated leadership. They're tired of all. Okay, I want you. I don't know how many of you. Let me take a really quick poll in the chat if you're here. How many of you are on the TikTok platform? Put TT in the chat if you are on the TikTok platform. Really quickly, just put TT in the chat if you're on the TikTok platform. Good morning, Tiana. And your initials will be TT today. Well, they're TT every day, but you know what I'm saying. Please, really quickly, if you are here and you are rocking with me, I would like to see TT in the chat. Drop them really, really quickly. I don't know if there's a delay or not. Okay, I see Tamika. She says TT. She has a TikTok. If you have a TikTok, please put TT in the chat. Wherever you're viewing from. I see one. So Tamika's the only one who has a TikTok. Oh my gosh. What are y'all doing? Where have y'all been? Ooh, y'all are missing out if you are not on the TT platform. I need y'all to get with it. Okay, Miss MSC. Hey, sis, how you doing, Octavia? Thank you for joining in. So I see another TT. Okay, good. All right, so we have at least two people who are with us today who have TikTok pages. So Tiana says no TT, I can't get with it. Got you. I totally understand. Okay, so here we go. If you are in the TT space, Tiana said it's too much. If you are in the TT space, you probably have noticed videos starting to surface where they're saying that TikTok is a platform for you to show up unattractive. I'm not going to use the U word because the platforms don't like for us to say UGLY and you ain't got no alibi. Okay. I'm showing my age right now. But TikTok has become the place where the people are like, this is the place where you can show up as your vulnerable self. Like the more unattractive, the more unpolished, the more unput together you are, the faster your platform will grow over there. Why? Because we have a generation of people who do not want the curated, polished, well manicured, all of the cutesy color coordinated, everything. So they don't want that. They see it as unrealistic. They see it as unattainable. They see it as fake and phony. They don't want it. People get tired of it. You know what? Folks get tired of seeing something that they cannot seem to access themselves. People get tired of looking at what they cannot. I'm not going to say they get tired of looking at it because they look at it, but it breaks the spirit of people when they're constantly watching leadership be perfect and they can't be. They can't figure out how to do it. So we need to understand as leaders that we are living in a time where the people, your audience and your teams, they can tell when you are curating an image instead of leading them authentically. And listen what happens. Over time, it simply creates distrust. They can't trust you. You're no longer believable. So now when you're trying to rally the team, you're trying to rally the troops, they don't trust you. Why? Because they realize that you have been, you've been presenting a look that ain't true. You've been telling them things, oh, you could do this, you could do that, you could do this, you could do that because I'm doing this and I'm doing that and you're so perfect. And they're like, okay, whatever. I don't trust you with my vulnerability because you're so perfect, you're so amazing, you're so wonderful, you don't do anything wrong, you got all the right answers. I can't trust you with my vulnerability when you're perfect. As a human, you're perfect, right? With everything, when what you're putting out there is all manicured, polished. right? So work on that this week. I want you to work on that. One thing that I have been doing, so I do have a TT space, I have a TikTok space. And when I go over onto that platform, that is a place where I realize that there are people who are connected to me who are interested in seeing me show up a bit more real. A lot of times here on Facebook, you get the businessy me, you get the speak up sis CEO doing all the things. People are like, gosh, you're always so busy, your calendar's always so full, right? That's what people see. But when I go into the other space, I have been very intentional about showing up just Angel. That's it. I mean, with my butterfly house coat, I'll get on and make a video in my house coat, just getting up in the morning, drinking coffee. I'm allowing my audience to see that, like, I'm a real person too. Yes, I run a business. Yes, I'm very serious about that. Yes, I believe in doing things in a spirit of excellence. And at the same time, I'm a real human with real issues who go to the doctor and have just problems just like everybody else. Okay. So you want to take a look at how you're presenting as well. And then you can even do, and you can, I'm going to suggest to you, if you're someone who's trying to figure out how you're presenting, because sometimes you don't know how your community is seeing you, right? You can ask for, you can create, like, use like Job Form, or you can use like Google Forms or something like that. And you can create a form that you send out maybe to your email list or whatever. And you can ask for anonymous feedback from the people who are connected to you, and simply ask them, where do you wish you saw more of the real me? You know, where do you wish you saw more of the real me? What parts of me do you feel are curated or polished? Are there any places, right, that you would like to see more of the real me? You can ask people. Do not be afraid to get honest feedback. If you want to have a sustainable trust with your audience, with your employees, with your parishioners, whatever, don't be afraid for them to tell you how they really feel. Let them tell you that we think you look fake a lot, and that bothers us. We love you, so we stay. And whenever you hear people say, well, I know you're not like really like that, I know that you just kind of do this, whenever people start talking like that, you need to know they're telling you that they think you're showing up inauthentically. Whenever folks are like, well, I mean, I'm cool with you, and I like listening to you. I know that that's just how you are, like, right there, but I know the real you. Anytime someone, as a leader, anytime someone is like, well, I know the real you, that lets you know that what you're presenting, they don't believe is the real you, because they feel like they know the real you. So you really don't be afraid to hear what the people actually have to say about you and what they actually think about you. Okay. Kiki says she you missed a comment. Well, we almost done, sis. She says, I don't show much, but I go on there just loving the growth in me, my soft girl moments. I got you. I got you. Octavia. I actually enjoy it. It's not as much pressure. It's not as much pressure as some of these other sites. I will say that. Okay. So the last thing I want to say to you all before I release y'all from school today, and the third point is that authenticity attracts the right opportunities. I have said this so many times over the years, I still don't think people are listening. But when you show up as your true self, you will naturally attract the opportunities that fit who you are, not just who you are pretending to be. If you feel like you are not connecting with the right people, if you're feeling like people, like, oh gosh, I have people around me, but these aren't the right people, then you need to take a look at how you're presenting, because whomever you are presenting is going to attract certain types of people. If you don't want to attract those kind of people, if you don't want to attract other fake and phony people, then you probably should show up a bit more authentic. When you show up and lead authentically, you give other people permission to show up and be true, real, honest, vulnerable, raw with you as well. Why? Because they see that you're able to do that. So your authenticity will attract the right types of opportunities, the right types of business collaborations and things of that nature. If you know that you prefer being a certain way, but you're pretending not to be that way, then you're going to attract opportunities that are going to connect to what you're presenting and not what you really want and really desire. So what do I want you to do with this week? I want you to take some time and I want you to review your last 5 posts or communications. It could be email communications. It could be newsletter communications, whatever. But I want you to review your last 5 posts or communications. And I want you to edit one upcoming message to sound more like you. Not who, and here's the thing, you, like there's so many different people that are listening to me and that listen to me, and you all have different things going on, but you, and you know where you're showing up as you're pretending in your own space. I have met some women who are so extra glam because I know them personally, I know they can't even stand to be that way. They are their most comfortable selves when they don't have all that stuff on. They're their most comfortable selves when they got on jeans and a t-shirt. I'm not saying that as a leader you have to show up in jeans and a t-shirt every day. What I'm saying is it needs to be okay for you to show up in jeans and t-shirts and people not be like, oh, what's going what's going on here? Like, we don't like jeans and t-shirt because we don't like that on you, right? Why? Because you've never let them in to the fact that, like, this is really me. This is who I am. So I want you to think about that. Authenticity attracts the right opportunities. So we are at 32 minutes and 34 seconds. I'm feeling really good about this because I've covered all that I wanted to cover today. I've given you the points that I wanted to give you, and I've done the things. I'm feeling really good because y'all know I will be on here for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. So listen, if today's talk helped you, I encourage you to share it with someone who needs a reminder that real leadership is built on real trust. Real trust. So feel free, tag someone in the live, share it with them. Actually, yeah. You can totally do that. When I'm on Facebook, it's most business and I can express myself, show how God brought me from a long way. So everything I do is real at all times on both Facebook and TikTok. That's what's up. And that is the way to lead, to always show up as who you authentically are. There's no reason for you to pretending. I don't know why people think they got to lie and be fake, and because you don't. You don't. Tamika says, ever since I started showing up authentically, people have dropped off, but it's a good, and that's a great point, Tamika. And I'm going to end on this note. When you begin to stop, when you stop showing up with your representative, everyone and everything that was attached to the representative, they're going to leave. Why? Because that's why they were there. They weren't there for the true you, the honest you, the vulnerable you. They weren't there for that. They were there, and that doesn't make them bad. Let me say this. That doesn't make them bad. That doesn't make them wrong. Because we would be like, oh, when I started being me, you dropped off. Yeah, why wouldn't they? Because they were never connected to the authentic you. They were connected to who you pretended to be. So it only makes sense that they leave. And so you should not feel any kind of way. You should not feel like, oh, I'm losing something, or no. I remember learning this with my very first coach, and he said, you cannot lose what you never had or what was never yours. And those people were the real you never had those people. They were connected because of who you presented yourself to be. So when you release the old you, you had to expect, or excuse me, the faux you. When you release the faux you, then you have to understand that the people connected to that version of you, they're going to leave too, and that's okay. That's okay. All right. And with that, everyone, you all have an amazing rest of your day. I will see you all tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to continue talking about authenticity and leadership. Y'all take care. If you are a subscriber, then you know you're going to have access to this video for 30 days. So you can go back and watch and take notes and ask questions in the chat. And you know I will respond to you. All right, take care.